we have, about 2 years ago, the board asked me to come up with some safety rules, 3 years or something like that. And I could have easily come up with twice what I have here, but I have, and we're going to read these on the trip. You know, you're not going to get beat up on these, but we want to make sure that you understand that our ministries is a very safety conscientious ministry. Okay, we're very, very organized, and the last thing we want people to do is get hurt, okay, on any of these projects. And we do a lot of things where you could. There's great potential there, okay? So these are kind of no-brainers, okay? There are some things that, I mean, I got to tell you, I have zero tolerance on, okay? There are other things that, you know, if I'm standing on top of a ladder, for example, somebody wants to scold me, that's fine. But I got, like, some in here that, you know, there's just no tolerance on. Anyway, start up. Number one, standing on top of a ladder is not permitted. Extension ladder is important that they're secured at the base, with either dug down into the dirt or there's like a bundle of shingle or something so they don't slip. Top extension ladders is important. They need to be tied off at the roof, especially if you have metal and the top of the ladder has a tendency to slide. So I want to make sure the top of the ladder is tied off. That's something that a lot of us don't do, you know, but it needs to be done. You're going to have people on the site. There's going to be safety guys. They're going to enforce this. I mean, it's all of our responsibilities to make sure this happens, okay? But I think there's going to be a guy there, he doesn't have responsibility is to make sure these things are happening, okay? Air compressors, one of the things, and I'm not big on this, but one of the things with, I shouldn't say that, one of the air compressors, when you drain the tanks, I mean, what I do, I just look at the coupling, and the hose goes flying off someplace. Well, really, I don't do that. I grab the hose, because I know what's going to happen. But if you're not familiar with what's going to happen, you're going to get upside the head. Once from the air compressor, and then from me if I'm taking okay. So anyway, always, I have here, you're supposed to drain the air compressors, okay? I'm not big on that. It's bottom line, hold the hose when you flip the coupling. That's all you got to do, okay? Draining an air compressor air compressors need to be drained every few days anyway, so it's not a bad thing. Saw guards, now this is zero tolerance. Saw guards are not permitted to be pinned back. You know, you pin a guard back. I pin my guard back all the time. It's safest for me to do that. I'm quicker done that way. I mean, I'm not working around other people, but if I'm pinning a guard back, we don't even have a rule to do this on the prep trip, okay? If somebody comes along and they trips over the cord and they bring that saw back into the guy's leg, I mean, that's one reason. So it's just not good etiquette, so there's zero tolerance on that. Hard hats will be worn in areas where there's possibility of stuff being dropped on you. The demo that we're going to do at El Lago, Water Mission, guys on the roof, there's a lot of demo there, so we're going to be wearing hard hats there for sure, okay? Working in the rain, climbing the rain, that's something we try not to do. Tools that are defective, we're not allowed to use those. Only if you're qualified, you're allowed to use saws, things like that. When we wear eye protections, when using saws, grinding tools, any other type of tool that might cause eye damage. Working with live electrical wires are not permitted, only by a qualified electrician and only if the circumstances are safe to do so, okay? Implementing safety is everybody's responsibility, and enforcing safety rules is everybody's responsibility. I think that's it. Yeah, you know, tools, all you need to bring, I think like it was something else there too, but anyway, all you need to bring is just a hammer and a nail bag, and a tape, pencil. That's all you really need to bring, okay? Our has setups down there, but I tell you what, we don't have setups for everybody. And if you get on a job site, and I've had this happen, like 4 or 5 guys, and only one guy's got a tool bag. Okay. As far as the other tools and stuff, I have a list. When you get to the job sites, everything's going to be there. Material's going to be delivered by the people, like the guy that has the lumber company that we work with in Aquinia. I have a list of when you guys leave that morning, everything will be in your van or in a construction truck. So when you get to the job site, if you don't have a tool, it's going to be my fault. Okay. So I make up the list. I give it to the guys that help me to kind of fill that list. Marty's going to make sure they get on the vans wherever they go. The bottom line, all you need is a tool bag, hammer, tape, pencil, and that's it. Okay.
And the tag onto that, though, if you do not own those tools, don't go out and buy them, okay? I remember one year, a good friend who's gone several times, about the heaviest thing he swings is a pencil, and he showed up with the biggest hammer I've seen in my life. And he proceeded to splay open his thumb with it, okay? So if you have a hammer and a tool bag, some of you guys that have it, it's kind of like, they're theirs, you like them, they're what you use, that's great. Bring them along. If you don't own a hammer, don't go out and buy one.
A 16-ounce hammer is great.
16 ounce, yeah. If you go buy one, because you think it's time, nothing bigger than a 16 ounce. And also, some of you guys maybe have safety glasses that you like, that you prefer. Pack those. Here again, we'll have safety glasses, but if you have your own that you like to wear, pack them, bring them along. That way you won't have to wear my cheap little plastic ones I give you. I want to point out a couple things. I see a lot of new guys. So just to emphasize again, if you've not gone online, powerministry.com or powerministry.org, either one works, and registered, you need to leave this meeting and go do that today. Right after you talk to Mark in the orange shirt, because we're buying airline tickets within 24 hours of right now. And so if you're going and you're not already registered online, we really need to know that, or you may be a little more on your own. Or at least if you haven't decided for sure and you're thinking about it till tomorrow morning, at least let Mark know so that he kind of knows you're there and he can check with you and we can make sure that you're involved. When you go on the website, I know most of you have registered online. I just want to point out that if you go on the website and you click on the trip tab, okay, it'll open up for you something that gives you the packing list. I talked about that last time. That is now up there, particularly for rookies. I would highly advise you to go look at the packing list because you'll find that you don't need 3/4 of what you think you want to take with you. The other thing is you'll see the itinerary, which I will say is about 90% accurate. It's kind of a dynamic thing where it's work in progress, but you can see where we're going to be, what dates. It's pretty much accurate. The projects aren't updated yet. It would be important, I think, for you to show to your spouses or your significant others that website, because when you're on the trip, if they go to trip, they click on that, they can open up, they can see the progress. We'll be posting progresses on the trip. There's a link to the photographs for them to go see. The prayer and praise requests are there for them to look at, and there's also a blog that comes up there. So for those that are here, that are praying for you and thinking about you and keeping you in your thoughts during the day, it's a good place for them to go and just kind of check up on you while you're gone. So show them that little link, and that'll be helpful for them as well. I think everyone knows your second payment's due today, so if you have not paid $650 to me or made other arrangements, you need to come see me. We can do scholarships, we can do payment plans, so if you're in a tight financial crunch, we understand and we'll work with that. I think a lot of people are struggling with that. When you did your registration, you should have done at least a medical release. If you've not done a medical release, Sam here in the check shirt, put your hand up, Sam, has been trying to run you down. If you've not filled out a medical and liability release, make sure you see Sam before you leave. And drivers, your driver's application as well, see Sam. I misinformed Marty last meeting and told him that you didn't need a copy of your driver's license and insurance card, but we do. As part of the insurance company researching who you are, and it's kind of like if you can't buy insurance, then you're probably not going to be a driver because we can't have insurance on you either. So we do need copies of those as well. Passport. Everybody got a passport?
Yeah.
Okay.
Anybody who doesn't.
Okay. You need to make sure that. Does anyone know what the turnaround time is on passports now?
3 weeks.
Week and a half if you expedite it?
Extra.
Okay. So that needs to be a priority. Make sure you get your passport. You need to put a post-it on your mirror or something that day, okay, and make sure that you pack it. Have to have your passport. You can get into Mexico without it, and you can get out of Mexico without it. It just might take you a long time. You could be traveling on your own. Mark spent quite a bit of time last meeting talking about the violence between the cartels in Mexico. And just to kind of give you an update on that, we continue to watch that. It's been kind of interesting. Ever since we've had our last meeting, there's been one incident in Matamoros last Thursday, I think it was. But other than that, it's been really, really quiet. Now, we can't guarantee anyone's safety. I mean, I can't drive downtown LA and not be at some risk. Okay, so I don't want to try to give you the impression that it's just 100% safe. It's not any place that we live. But I do want you to understand that the leadership is really concerned about your safety. We're really watching and trying to keep tabs on the violence during the trip. There's a couple websites we'll be checking probably a couple times during the day. There's several people that we know we can talk to, particularly the missionaries that we partnership with down there. You know, they have a high level of credibility with us as to information and being able to trust information. So during the trip, if you see us make an adjustment, it may be because we feel like, okay, we need to make an adjustment to be safe, and we will do that because it's important that we be safe. So I know if you have spouses who are probably nervous like mine, just to say that, you know, when God says it's your time, and I don't think that means that you can be foolish and go jump in front of a moving truck. Okay, but I think if you're in prayer and we're trying to use good judgment, then actually I'd be okay seeing Jesus this afternoon. So with that, look forward to seeing you guys all on the trip, and have a great day.